So the time has come for the last example that you were waiting for. Which you can say that the queen walks the path of it. Like I told you that smothered mate is not a smothered mate if you don't sacrifice your queen. What I mean? Welcome back to Chess with Rahul. Today we are learning smothered mate. Yes, we are learning smothered mate. What is smothered mate? Smothered mate is a new checkmating pattern after Arabian mate. This is second mating pattern we are learning. So first one is Arabian mate and the second one is smothered mate. We learn what is smothered mate. Smothered mate is a position where your opponent king is surrounded by his own pieces or immobilized. Opponent's king is immobilized by his own pieces and we give a check from knight. That is a smothered mate. So in this position, example would be knight to d6 is a smothered mate because opponent king is smothered and immobilized by his own pieces. He can't move anywhere, and we give a check from the knight. So that is a smothered mate. I think there are four examples I will be giving. So that last one is very good. You can try to find the answer of the last one. So for this one, and that is a smothered mate, and pawn can't take the knight because of the pin, and that's a game over. So there is no moves for black to continue the game. And we're going for the second one, second example. So second example. So you can this is second example is also very easy, which you can see that this is white to play, and opponent king is in the corner on head shade, which smothered by his own pieces. And yes, we have one pawn which is covering the g7 square, and yeah, this is smothered mate after knight takes on f7. The king is getting checkmated here with the help of smothered mate. So very nice tactic, nice mating pattern, which will be useful in many ways. Where so being going for the third example. Yeah, this is the third example where we are learning smothered mate. So in this position, it's very easy. It's white to play. You have to smothered mate the black king. So which is very obvious. You can just grab a rook, and the king has to go to the corner, and we go with the queen to c1. We go with the queen to c8. The only move to deliver a checkmate, and there is no move for the black king. So he has to place knight to d8 and we move our knight to c7, and that is a smothered mate because of his own pieces are surrounded by king. The king is immobilized. King can't move anywhere because of his own pieces. So this is a smothered mate. So the time has come for the last example that you were waiting for. Which you can say that the queen walks the path of the blade. Queen walks the path of the blade and delivers the smothered mate. Smothered mate is not a smothered mate if you don't sacrifice your queen. Yes. You learn a perfect example of a smothered mate. Yes, let's see. So yeah, there is a fourth example that I told you. The queen walks the path of blade, and you can see that in this position, white played f3 in the last move. So white played f3 in the last move. Now it's black's turn, and he can deliver a smothered mate. So I said something like Queen walks the path of blood. What is that? Pause the video and find the answer. Black to play. Checkmate in 8 moves. It mostly is not that big because it's a smothered mate where white gives up every piece and black takes and checkmate. We can try to find it. Now I'm going to answer. So in this position, this is black to play. Queen to b6 is a check to the king. And there are two options. King h1 is a most logical. I mean, if he plays king h1, then it's checkmate in very less moves. It's like three checkmate in 3 moves now. So if he places king to f1, then queen to f2 is a checkmate. So he can't play both the moves. So he has to block the path of the queen. So yeah, queen takes the bishop. Check again. Yet the same thing. We'll see what will happen if the king goes to f1. We already know what will happen if king comes to f1, the queen comes to f2, and that's the checkmate. So pawn push, only way to block the check. Queen again takes on d4, gives a check. So that is, so I told something like queen walks the path of blood. This is what I meant. You just start taking everything and coming to deliver a checkmate, deliver a smothered mate to the white king. So again check. The rook has to block, takes, and now again there is no more piece to block. So if king comes to f1, then queen f2 is a checkmate. If king goes to h1, this is not a checkmate. Don't carried away and capture this because this queen can come back or knight can come back. It's not a checkmate. Yes, that is winning, but it's not a checkmate. We're here for a smothered mate. We are not going to take a free rook. So knight to f2, check, forcing opponent's king out of the corner. And king is on g1, and we play our knight to h3, a double check. Okay. So what is the use of playing this knight to h3? Anyway, the knight was hanging over g4. So anyway, is hanging over here as well. What is the use of double check? I don't think any useful. Queen, if the king comes to f1, then queen f2 is checkmate. That's already we know. What happens if I go there? Same thing, right? It's not same thing. Now, I told you that smothered mate is not a smothered mate if you don't sacrifice your queen. What I mean, queen to g1 check. The knight is supporting the queen, so king can't capture the queen. Rook has to take it, and knight to f2 is a checkmate, a beautiful smothered mate with an knight and queen combination, a deadly combination of two pieces in chess, which unlocks all the abilities of all the pieces. Queen can move like rook, pawn, king, and bishop, and knight can move like a knight. So this total whole power of chess applied with knight and queen, a deadly combination. A smothered mate is delivered, and so we just saw a queen walking the path of blood. And yes, we destroyed our opponent with a smothered mate. You could try to do this with your friends and deliver a checkmate, something like by giving up his queen. Think your opponent will think that there's a free dumb queen and you take it, and don't blunder this that. And many of you blunder this that you stack your queen very early on g1 that think that rook will take it. So king will take it. So you need to have a knight on h3 to support the queen that rook can take it. So yeah, here the knight can take, and that's not a smothered. I hope you learned smothered mate, a nice mating pattern, which will be very very useful in your games, as it occurs in middle games, end games, and most of the positions. And Arabian mate, yes, this is the second mating pattern after Arabian mate. There will be more mating patterns will be coming, some complicated, some deep, and yeah, that's it for this video. So I will see you in the next video.